Hey guys, we're here with Paraleven at his NYC show at Mercury Lounge. I'm going to ask him a few questions. Welcome to New York. How does it feel to be back on tour and playing your new album, Apollo?
It feels amazing. The first two shows on the tour have been pretty great, so really enjoying like the intimate vibes of these venues, and this one seems pretty cool. I like the setup, so yeah, I love New York. I actually had never been to New York till like a few years ago, and this is like my 10th time since. So it's been a lot.
You gotta come back.
Yeah, I really like it.
They got some cool venues here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's always fun to be here.
Good. It's almost been a month since the release of your album on RÜFÜS DU SOL's Rose Avenue record. How has the journey been since you began the project?
Pretty crazy. I think we kind of had like a vision of what we wanted to do. We kind of like executed that pretty well. I think that, I thought that was gonna be a long shot when I sent them the music, but they listened and they've really been supportive ever since. We sent them that initial demo. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty crazy. They've kind of been really supportive of my creative direction, and our team has been working with them to kind of put it together. It started off as an EP, then it kind of turned into an album. And just like communicating with them and just the whole team it's been fantastic. I enjoyed my time at This Never Happened, and that was a really good experience too. I just when the opportunity for an album came up, it seemed like a natural progression. So.
That's good, and especially if the team's been so supportive
and
sees your vision and how you want it to be. You collaborated with a number of different artists on Apollo. What was your favorite part of working with several musicians with different various backgrounds?
I don't really want to choose favorites, but at the same time, I really do think that working with Bien à Toi on the album, because he's on 3 songs, was fantastic. I got to like literally sit down with him in the studio in Palm Springs. We kind of like vibed off each other, got to know each other, and that experience in itself was kind of like memorable because he was actually there. Due to COVID, there was a lot of issues with like meeting up with people, and obviously I was a big fan of Fractures beforehand, so like working with him, he's amazing. But yeah, I guess just meeting with him, his name's Luca, in person, was kind of one of my like highlights because of how we I explained my vision of what I wanted from the album, and we kind of just played off each other, and that was great. So
created a bond. Music too. Yeah. So did you collaborate kind of virtually with some people on some of the tracks?
I would say most of the tracks.
Most of them?
Yeah, because it just was hard to kind of like do that. I did have a lot of solitude to kind of create the music around it, but when it came to getting the vocals, it was just kind of like, hey, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm looking for. Let's try to like we go through revisions and go and kind of work with the lyrics and stuff, but it was mostly remote, but it is what it is. That is the world we live in currently.
At least you have something to look forward to, being not remote, hopefully. Yeah. We really love the track Break Me Down with Fractures. What was the message behind this song?
I think that, obviously everyone's kind of going into lockdown, and we talked about, when I originally sent it to him, I was like, I made this in like a very like sad point in like where I was internally. And I just said, just take this raw emotion and kind of like spin that into your own and kind of come up with what you can about how you feel currently in the world we are in right now. And he sent that back, and I was like, that's a wrap.
You nailed it?
First send.
Oh my gosh, that makes it even better.
There was no retake. It was right when he sent that to me, I said, this is perfect.
That's awesome.
We kind of like went from there. So
I feel like a lot of people, were able to feel a lot of emotions at that time, like being isolated and stuff. So maybe it helped musically and with the creative process.
It was originally titled "Sad Song," but we changed it obviously when the lyrics kind of unfolded.
That's funny. You just announced that you'll be joining RÜFÜS for the Outside Lands night show. How does it feel to be preparing for your biggest show to date?
Oh God. I don't get nervous, so that's one thing. But I do think that, like, obviously that's going to be one of the bigger shows that I've played. The first show I ever played was a sold-out show at the Tabernacle in Atlanta with Knife Party, which is a similar.
Oh my God!
It was a similar thing.
That's crazy.
Which is the first show I ever played under a different group, long time ago, like a decade ago. So I've been in front of a large crowd, but like, I mean, back then I was like, I didn't even know. It was a totally different vibe, and I was actually nervous for that. But for this, honestly, I feel like at this point, you know, as long as I'm playing my music and I get up there and we do everything what we need to do beforehand, I'm just excited. You know, I'm excited. Hopefully everything will work out. And, yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Awesome. Wait, so what was the old group that you surveyed with? If you don't mind
It was Halogen. It was a duo. It was kind of something, we made a lot of different music. It was more of deep house, kind of tech house kind of stuff. And I think that I kind of grew out of it, you know, as I got older, as I got to the end of my 20s. It just became more, my natural tendencies led to like more of a melodic sound. And, you know, I mean, and not saying there were creative differences, because there, obviously he was just more of a tech vibe, and we kind of cordially went our separate ways, and he's in a different group now by himself, doing his solo stuff, and I'm doing my solo stuff, and we're just kind of supportive of each other.
Nice, that's good. So just one more, what can we expect from the Paraleven project in the next year?
Well, obviously this light show that I've been working with Colorblind, they're amazing. I'm trying to build off of that. Obviously, we have the design and the concept is there, but it is scalable, so it can grow to the largest stage and be on a small stage. Right now we're playing a smaller stage, but I'm really interested to see like what it would look like on a bigger stage. What can I add to the live set? Like what different synths I can play. It's just about getting comfortable and getting used to it and building out like the actual music. And obviously, the more music I make, the more that I can do, the more that we can program and stuff like that. So I think that from a production standpoint, that's something to look forward to. And I think that from a music standpoint, expect some little bit of a darker side coming. So 1.0, and then it'll be 2.0.
You love that.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thanks, guys.